The Obama administration's vision for NASA has touched off such a heated debate because of what they have planned for the agency.
And liftoff of Discovery.
This is a watershed moment for NASA. It's an abrupt departure, a dramatic departure from the way they've done things in the past.
Gone is the Bush administration plan to send astronauts back to the moon by 2020. A $110 billion project called Constellation that the government has already sunk $9 billion into.
Liftoff.
Gone, too, is the space shuttle, which the Bush administration had ordered into retirement by the end of this year.
Nobody has a monopoly on what is a very hard problem. But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
Atlantis on its way.
For the next 5 years at least, NASA will be out of the business of launching astronauts into space.
U.S. astronauts are going to be forced to hitch rides on Russian Soyuz rockets to and from the International Space Station at more than $50 million a seat.
Good afternoon, everybody.
The administration is promising to build a new rocket for deep space exploration. And while a manned mission to Mars is still a goal, there is no timetable. Former astronauts, including Gene Cernan and Jim Lovell, are slamming the plan. In an open letter to President Obama, they urged him to drop this misguided proposal.
Transitions are always difficult.
But one administration advocate, Apollo 11's Buzz Aldrin, now pitted against his peers. He says Americans have already been to the moon.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing.
And the focus needs to shift.
People with patience, with an open mind and the willingness to listen would understand that this is a doable, exciting program.
The Obama administration says revamping the country's goals in space will create 2,500 new jobs, but not enough to match the 7,000 that will be lost when the space shuttle stops flying.
What if I told you that we have now spent $46 billion of your taxes on a project to study deep space? Okay, you would either say, hey, that's great, Sanchez. I want to know more about deep space. Or you might say, I could give a hoot about deep space, all right? Keep the money here where we need it for our kids, our schools, and our roads. What you definitely should say is, okay, what did we get for that $46 billion? Good question. Because that's the question we asked ourselves here when we were having our editorial meeting this morning, and Michelle Greenstein's been assigned the distinction of finding out for us. Okay, what'd you find out?
All right, so here's the situation. For the past 15 years, NASA has been working on building this heavy lift vehicle that will take us to the moon and then on to Mars, and also on building the infrastructure between the Earth, the moon, and Mars. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful goal, right?
Sure.
It truly is. But according to aerospace analyst Laura Forzik, who just put out a research paper that includes data from fiscal year 2019's budget, we've been spending about $4 billion annually on this program, and we're not really seeing the return. So I reached out to her. Let's see what she had to say about this.
Cool.
That the main purpose of the big NASA heavy lift vehicle program for the human space exploration is to give us, as a country, a big goal to go towards.
So her take is that the real purpose of these programs, these space exploration programs, are symbolic, right? They give us a sense of national pride. They unite the country, like she said, like around this big giant goal. So we've spent, according to her research, $14 billion on the Space Launch System, $16 billion on the Orion capsule, which is what NASA says will take us to the moon, and then on to Mars. What do we have to show for it? Well, the Orion capsule did launch a few years ago, but without a crew, and this was a private launch, and the Space Launch System has yet to take flight. So in terms of crewed flights, we're probably not going to see this for a number of years in the future, and by that time, you know, we'll have spent 20 years on this program, but also close to $60 billion on this project that we seem to have already done in 1968. So I asked Laura Forzik about this. Let's see what she had to say.
You can't really say that what NASA is trying to do now is already done in the 60s, because the technology is different and the mission behind it, although similar, is different. So the Saturn V rocket was fantastic for its time, but it was limited. There's just an argument as to how much money should be spent on one way versus the other, or on one project versus the other.
The moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. The only limit to human future is in our own imagination.
It seems like what she's suggesting is that NASA and these grandiose projects are being used for political posturing, right? Let me stand in front of the American people and say, I'm going to get us, you know, a la JFK, to the moon, or I'm going to do this and that. But in the end, it doesn't accomplish anything.
Right, and every president kind of makes an announcement like that. And she would actually agree with you. She was quoted in Ars Technica yesterday saying that these are political projects, not practical ones.
That's an interesting point. Hey, good stuff. Good reporting.
Thank you.
You serious?
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it.
Up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball, but it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go. History has been rewritten by winners of wars. The Jesuit order, Khazars, Freemasons, and more. They pulled the veil over our eyes, and it's time to awaken. Through organized indoctrination, our minds have been taken. It's time we take our power back and we rescue our people. The Vatican and the bankers are like Resident Evil. They may have had the greatest plan that was ever concocted, but Illuminati never thought that they'd ever be spotted. They're manufacturing reality all in our heads. They tell us if the earth is flat, then we'll fall off the edge. But if it is a spinning ball, we won't fall off it then. And gravity is our imaginary magic friend. Why is water always flat when unmanipulated? Why are pictures of the earth computer generated? Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Dear NASA, it's becoming 100% crystal clear that you and the other space programs that are in operation are connected and are deceiving the entire world. More and more people are waking up every single day.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
I think the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
and get the hell out of the house.
Well, take your stuff and get the fuck out. Why don't you quote me and say it's bullshit?
I mean, the shadows in Iran. I don't give a damn about all that shit.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
You want me to knock you in the head?
Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
Watching them lie through their teeth, carrying on a hoax that is so outrageous that they're beyond. They couldn't cover it up. They were just too human.
Exactly. You can see on Neil Armstrong particularly, he doesn't want to lie. This guy just doesn't want to lie.
No.
He's looking down. He just doesn't want to say anything. This is why he didn't give any interviews for the rest of his life.
Look at that. Please do look at that, folks. YouTube video of the first Apollo crew to come back at press conference. It's really embarrassing. I mean, it's just embarrassing. The lie was so big that they really couldn't fake it that well. It was too much for them.
And all of that happened in a little town called York, Maine, across the United States from where we're talking to you right now.
We are headed 3,600 miles above Earth, 15 times higher from the planet than the International Space Station. As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. For this flight, it's time to head home.
I'm Jay Herman. I'm the EPIC lead scientist for the Discover mission. On July 6, 2015, we released this spectacular image of Earth taken by NASA's EPIC camera. Now, we assembled more than 3,000 images captured by EPIC into a time-lapse sequence that shows a year in the life of our planet. EPIC is an Earth science instrument aboard the Discover satellite, which launched in February 2015. The spacecraft always remains between the Sun and the Earth, approximately 1 million miles away, at a special gravitational balance point known as Lagrange 1. From this view, EPIC sees the sunrise in the west and the sunset in the east at least 13 times a day. The haze, seen around the edges, is due to scattering of light by molecules in the atmosphere. Scattering is also what makes the sky appear blue during the day and red at sunset. The colors shown are our best estimate of what a human sitting at the location of EPIC would see. EPIC takes at least one set of images about every 2 hours. The camera records each set in 10 different wavelengths. At least 3 separate wavelengths, red, green, and blue, are combined to produce this color view. In March, the moon passed between the Earth and the Sun, causing a total solar eclipse. During the eclipse, the moon cast its shadow over a portion of the planet. If we slow the video down, we can see the moon shadow make an appearance right about now. Although the view from EPIC is only once every 2 hours, we're able to track features like the motion of clouds. Around 2/3 of the Earth is covered by clouds. Clouds reflect light from the sun, helping to keep the planet cool. They also trap heat rising from the surface, keeping the planet warm. Changes in cloud cover affect the heat balance and how warm the Earth becomes, which is one of the reasons why we study them. The hourly images of the entire sunlit side of the Earth provided by EPIC will be used to study the daily variations of features over the entire globe, helping us to better understand and protect our home planet.
Yes, indeed. They've got the flag up now, and you can.
The United States has shunned the Paris Climate Agreement, but it has big plans beyond planet Earth.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
President Trump wants to send American astronauts back to the moon and to places no man has ever gone before. Trump's first space policy directive orders NASA to refocus on human exploration and discovery, 45 years after its last Apollo mission to the moon. Trump said the initiative would create many jobs, and he hoped to see a lunar mission serve as a stepping stone to Mars.
We will not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to many worlds beyond.
Little detail was given of the plans, but many on social media were quick to deride it, with some quipping that if America is going to lead in space, then why not send Trump there first?
So,
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
2 cell phones, after all. What? Right before your surgery, I asked if you had packed your cell phone, and you said, which one?
When? Skylar, I was medicated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
My goodness, Becky, look at this Earth. It is so flat. It looks like a gigantic frisbee, but who understands those flat earthers anyway? They just say it's flat because it's a total psyop, okay? I mean, the Earth, it's obviously a ball. I can't believe they'd even deny that it's round. That's like out there. I mean, weird. Look. It's just so flat. I like flat Earth and I cannot lie. You flat earthers can't deny. When an astronaut from outer space puts that round thing in your face, you just laugh. Wanna prove it's flat cause you know they're full of crap. Deep in the lie they're spinning, zoom in and reappearing. Oh NASA, don't wanna get with ya, cause you take fake picture. My husband tried to warn me, cause that Earth you got is oh so corny. Oh Mr. Tyson, you say the Earth is a pear? Well show me, cause I'm pretty sure that's baloney. I've seen the horizon with no fish islands. It's flat with a hat and as still as a well-trained cat. I'm tired of magazines, say around Earth is the thing. Take the average Joe and show him the math. He's gonna question your facts. So fellas, does your girlfriend know it's flat? Oh yeah! Then share it, share this cause it's flat. The Earth is flat. Firmament with the ice wall border. Firmament with the ice wall border. The Earth is flat. Firmament with the ice wall border. Firmament with the ice wall border. I like the truth, no fib, and this lie is big. I just can't help myself, I gotta dismantle this entire scandal. I wanna show the world it's flat, double up, flat, flat. I ain't talking about a spinning disc, cause that is not what the Bible says. The word says it can't be shaken, it sits on a foundation, and it can't be moved. They didn't teach that in school, so I'm watching flat earth videos. So much truth is being exposed, you can have them astronauts, I'll keep God's word in all my thoughts. A word to the wise flat earthers, I wanna show with ya, with a fancy camera. We could even go out and look at Mars, and the rest of the stars. Earth got it going on, a lot of people won't like the song, cause they don't want to admit it, and they'd rather say I'm cray. But they're wrong, cause Armstrong was lying all along. So ladies, ladies, if you wanna be liberated, then look it up. Read the facts, even Bill Nye says we're trapped. The earth is flat. Firmament with the ice wall border. Firmament with the ice wall border. The earth is flat. Yeah, baby. When it comes to mathematics, NASA thinks we're all a bunch of fools. 60 miles equals 2,400 feet of curvature. And somehow, we can still see the city. Not hard to explain gravity with density and buoyancy, but Barack said he ain't got no time for folks like me. Mr. Obama don't want none unless it's fake news, hun. You can share 1,000,000 photos, but they'll all be photoshopped. Some guy even said they have to be, and he says the earth is a globe, and some people still believe it. But I pull up quick to reveal it. They say the earth ain't flat. Well, I ain't down with that, cause the ISS is clearly lying, and the rockets are flying into the Bermuda Triangle. It ain't no mystery. Show me a bridge, lighthouse, or railroad that works with the curve of the globe. You think that I'm insane? But pilots don't dip the plane. NASA is making billions, hiding proof of God's existence. So if you think the earth is round and people live upside down, look up flat earth for yourself and lose them crazy thoughts. The earth is flat. Firmament with the ice wall border. Firmament with the ice wall border. The earth is flat. Firmament with the ice wall border. Firmament with the ice wall border. Curvy on the top, but it's still so flat. Curvy on the top, but it's still so flat. Curvy on the top, but it's still so flat. Curvy on the top, but it's still so flat. It's flat.
Dear NASA, it's becoming 100% crystal clear that you and the other space programs that are in operation are connected and are deceiving the entire world. More and more people are waking up every single day, and we are now able to see right through you.